LegacyMaker, the All Sports Network.
What's up, Redskins fans? Welcome to episode 3 of Redskins 732. I'm Darrell Owens. Of course, Jeremiah Quimby here with me today as we bring you our recap of the Redskins week and as the Redskins are getting prepared for their game against the Ravens tomorrow. But before we get into all that, Jay, we got to talk about the last game. Redskins get their first win of the preseason as they defeat the Atlanta Falcons 19-7 in Atlanta. What were your thoughts on the game?
Well, I was really impressed with Haskins. First game that I've seen where he was able to, kind of stand in the pocket. He scrambled a bit, but he was not sacked. 0 sacks up for him. Keenum had 1. So that tells you that maybe they're getting a little continuity in that line. Understanding how everything's going to happen. So that is amazing news. That is absolutely amazing.
I think the biggest part for me this game in the article that I wrote on it was about Darius Geis. I think the biggest thing coming in this game for the Washington Redskins, and I know, is just making sure that Darius Geis could take a hit, bounce back, get through the game, and just make sure that he was able to take the hits. And he looked good out there. He took some hits. He still made moves here and there. He went 11 carries for 44 yards. I just think that a healthy guys could take this team, as far as they're going to need a healthy guys to take them as far as they want to be.
I agree, but you still got that lingering thought of what would guys do with Trent Williams on the line? Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I mean,
not trying to keep going on the Trent Williams thing because something's got to come to a head at a point.
Yeah, eventually something's got to go down with the Trent Williams situation. But yeah, this Trent Williams obviously makes that line super duper stronger. That's what you want. But this, like I said, what I saw from Geis made me smile because there was a few carries where I was like the quickness. You could just tell that he has all the talent and all the talent in the world to become that really good back in the future.
Yeah, exactly. He could be a 3-down back, which is amazing because, not trying to take anything away from Chris Thompson. He can catch the ball great, but he's not always on the field. That's the other thing. Injuries for him has been one of his nags. Adrian Peterson getting long in the tooth. You really want to see guys come in and do well.
Another thing that I liked about this game, or two things that happened that went into the Redskins' favors, were the 2 fumble recoveries where they were able to get the ball inside the Atlanta. The 3 fumbles all total. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
But the 2 of them that they got inside of the Atlanta 25 yard line, and they had an opportunity. One of them they were able to score. Haskins got to score. Hand the ball off to Perrine. They got the lead on that one. The other one was kind of towards the end of the game. I think they got kicked the field goal on that one, but
they got points off of it.
Yeah, they got points off. And that's the thing. They made great plays, and they were able to get the ball. They were around the ball.
But the Redskins took an opportunity to bring their guys in that they wanted to see because, them roster cuts are coming.
Right.
You got to see what's going on, with those guys that are right there on the edge. So I was overall really impressed with this outing.
Yeah, I think it's for you to go on the road, business trip, make things happen. If you're a Redskin fan, I think things could have happened a little bit better. The one thing I didn't like in this game was some of the shots that Keenum took. Because there was one where he was trying to dump the ball off. It was third and 4, 3rd and 5, something in that range. And he was trying to dump the ball off to Chris Thompson, and he got tagged. And I said, oh, boy, that's just something you don't want to see. And then the same thing happened a little bit later. I think they were driving, and he tried to get a pass off. It looked like it was up to the sideline, and he took a hit then too. The offensive line has to do whatever they can to keep him upright. Yes, quarterbacks are going to take hits, but some of those shots look kind of vicious. And that's the only thing that had me worried.
I agree. The other thing I was a little surprised to see is all you saw was Keenum and Haskins.
Right.
McClendon was not even part of the plan, so that makes you wonder: is Colt getting better?
Yeah,
is he going to see Colt come in this week or?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think Colt's getting better. If you listen to anything Jake Gruden said, it's going to be week 2, week 3. But I think another reason why, we saw more Haskins than we probably thought we were going to see is I think, he's been saying in his press conferences, reps.
Yes.
He's going to start tomorrow. He should start tomorrow, and I believe McClendon will play in that game tomorrow. I don't think they're going to have Haskins out there for all 4 quarters.
Oh,
so
I
would be very surprised if that happens. But he should be getting a starting nod tomorrow. It's going to be really interesting to see how everything, how they play everybody out, and with everything going down there. So that part will be interesting. But talking about Keenum, Case Keenum did get the get the starting nod. Jay Gruden said that this is it. This is it for him. I mean, Case Keenum is going to be his starter going into the season. What are your thoughts on Case getting the start?
I think it's the best idea coming in. We talked about it last episode. Hard scheduled, especially even starting off the year. And, you want to bring in your veteran. You don't want to throw your rookie to the wolves like that at all. I don't care who your rookie is. You don't want to do that to him, especially with a patched together line that they got right now.
Right.
Definitely want to get Keenum in there. He seems to be grasping it. Not putting up amazing numbers, but time will tell. Nobody saw what he did in Minnesota coming either.
Right. I think listening to Donald Penn talking in the locker room the other day, watching, he said that, and he's like, Keenum is, the guy. He feels like Keenum. He even said that he felt like Keenum was the guy that should be getting the start here. And I think most of the team feels that way. Nothing against Haskins. I think that most of the team they're going to be behind Case Keenum as they get ready for this season. And I really like the fact that there is at least some continuity. I'm not even going to try to destroy that word right there. So at least. You can feel that they got some type of vibe going on there, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I still stand behind if they're not up to par when they go after they play the Patriots. Mm-hmm. We'll see Haskins come in. Yeah, I really feel that way.
I mean, it's going to be crazy tight at the beginning of the season,
because at that point, for Jay Gruden, it'll be self-preservation.
Yeah,
because he's got to do something this year to keep his position.
But like we said before, he said it in OTAs. He knows that the Redskins faithful, they want playoffs. You know what I'm saying? The upper ownership, they want playoffs. And if you look, most people, you would look at this team and say, there's no way most people will be like, oh, there's no way they're making the playoffs. They've got a lot of talent in this team. This team could shock people if they can get everything going the right way.
This defense has the potential to be a top 10 defense.
Exactly.
And, you got, Ryan in there. He knows what he's doing.
Right.
This is not his first rodeo. And, they're going to be blitzing. Casanova, McKenzie had 2 sacks plus 2 quarterback hits last game. And, for a backup, I know, playing against backups, but still, it's great to see that you got guys out there, especially at an area of concern.
Right.
That are stepping up to the plate, playing the game.
Now, with all that being said, we know the game's coming tomorrow, but cuts are coming this week. That's coming fast and furious. Give me 5 guys, Jay, that you feel like, that people think may make the team, but may get cut.
I love y'all to death, and I'm sorry a couple of these names you're gonna more than likely disagree with me on.
They're going to throw something at you?
They're going to throw something at me. But, wide receiver has been something that they've really drafted on. They brought in a lot of undrafted people that have really made great plays. You got Davis Sims. They both have done great. They bring in Harmon along with McLaren. You got Paul Richardson is coming back healthy, hopefully.
Yeah, Steve Sims Jr. they got receivers. Receivers out of woohoo.
So, and, with the line that came out, they, for 2 years have been trying to trade Josh Dotson, and it hasn't happened. And he has not really grasped or done what he could this preseason to show that he deserves a roster spot.
Yeah, and I think he only got one target in the last game, if I'm not mistaken.
One target, one catch. I mean, he did catch the ball, but the expectation of, I think he was the 16th overall pick.
Yeah.
You got to step up and perform, and, he's in the same boat as Laquan Treadwell. I don't think he's going to make the Vikings either. Yeah, I mean,
that draft, I think he got William Fuller for the Texans got drafted right before. He was got drafted right after Dotson. It was Dotson and Fuller. So, if, you look and say, man, Fuller was there, but Fuller has had his problems on the injury front as well. But, I mean, you never know. Sometimes it's just all about development and which, do you fit well with this offensive scheme, whatever, Dotson has had a lot of troubles. There's been some drop passes and
that is his biggest thing, is drop passes. Number one rule, wide receivers, anybody who watch, if your hand gets on the ball, you should catch it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the rule.
There may be some
exceptions to it, but I'm just saying, if it's within your radius to catch it, you got to catch it. And Dotson has not made the best of any opportunity he's been given. So I got him. The other guy, Mr. Troy Apke, he has not really stepped up the way I personally thought. I've been rooting for this guy, bringing a wonderful 40. He's fast, made a couple tackles last game. I just don't see them need that many safeties on the team. And especially when you bring in a rookie like Moreland that you can put anywhere back there that has made plays. So, Troy Apke is my second one. And then going back to cornerback, I toyed with this one because Fabian Monroe is, not looking to play, and he's, kind of their third guy. Greg Stroman played a little bit last year, got moved way down the chart. I think he might be their 5th or 6th corner. And once again, Jimmy Moreland comes in and has another phenomenal game. I think Greg Stroman will not be on the team.
Ooh, man.
Yeah. Well, they brought in White off of Kansas City's practice squad when they played the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
And White did not disappoint. He played good. So that makes you expendable at that point if you're not performing. Another wide receiver, Brian Quick. Yeah, not really been out there a lot. A little bit long in the tooth. Not going the same direction. They got a lot of young guys that are performing, stepping up, money-wise too. They cut him. They save a couple mil.
Right.
So Brian Quick, I don't see me. And this one here, he scored a touchdown for him last week, and that's Samaje Perine.
Think they'll really cut Perine? We talked about this on our podcast a while back. We thought, when we did, actually on the Legacy Sports Show, we talked about it during the summertime. We thought Perine could be one of those guys that shock us. It's one of those things that it feels like he's gotten a little bit more comfortable with the offense, in my opinion, in the last few weeks. But you still think there's a chance today that he goes bye-bye?
Yeah, because of I'm looking at the numbers. Geis come back, showed what he could do. Got 11 touches.
Mm-hmm.
You got Chris Thompson, who's healthy, and Reynolds had 5 carries for 20 yards. 3.8 yard, not great, but Perine had 4 for 20, or I'm sorry, 4 for 16. Apologize. So it wasn't much better. So why would you keep him? He's not shown that he can, be that second back. Even last year, we both, once guys got hurt, we loved Perine.
Right.
And he was a no-show.
Yeah, it was weird because I felt like, okay, well, they still got Perine. We'll see. And you didn't see Perine at all. Actually, I think the only game I can remember seeing Perine in, it was like late in the season, and it might have been against the Giants. I'm not saying he didn't play because, when we're out there, we're running and gunning, taking pictures, we're doing all that stuff. And from what I can remember seeing, I rarely saw P. Ryan on the field. And so I think that, the question is, he has played a lot during his preseason. So, I mean, the question will be, has he done enough to stick on the roster?
Yeah, and, once again, Gruden's fighting for his job. So everything he does now is strategically to stay employed. Biggest thing. So
yeah, and he's not looking to. Most people are like, maybe this team is redeveloping. No, they're thinking about making the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's what they said. So
they had an amazing draft. Another starter that got named, Eric Flowers, starting left guard. I hope the best for him. You said agreed with me. First round pick. Really didn't work out at tackle. Sometimes they transition really well to the guard. But I love Wes Martin. Wes Martin, to me, is Ali Marpet type.
He's the future. He's the future of that offensive line.
He's a grinder. He's definitely, he has that ability to pull, and swing around the other side to be a lead blocker on a draw play. So I need to see that from Eric Flowers. Haven't seen a lot of that.
Yeah, I think Eric Flowers is, in a way, kind of getting the nod because of his experience on the offensive line, the years in the league. And this is his chance. This is his time to shine. If he doesn't shine now, Wes Martin is going to be a guy that's going to, once he really gets his feet going, really learning that, that playbook to the T, that's a guy we could see start here in the second half of the season, if not before.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I really think Wes Martin is cheap man's Brandon Scherff.
And that's not a bad deal right there. That's not a bad deal.
I love what he brings to the table.
So I got one more for you. Now, Bleacher Report probably had an article about, maybe about 2 weeks ago, about people they thought could be a surprise cut in after the preseason is over. And on that list was Josh Norman. Do you think there's any chance in your mind that the Washington Redskins release or cut Josh Norman?
The only, if you'd asked me this 2 weeks ago, I'd have been like, yes. Because I really thought about putting Norman on the list. But you got Moreau hurt again. Jimmy Moreland's coming along fantastically. Right. Dunbar has, really stepped it up.
Right.
You got DRC. He's my age.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's been around a little bit, and I think one of the biggest reasons, and they say before they kind of think they brought DRC in because he had that, their relationship with Landon Collins, so they kind of know each other and all that. So I think that's part of it. I think DRC is probably going to be safe, but like I said, with that being said, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens on this cut.
I mean, they would save tremendous amount of money.
They would.
But the other thing is, we kind of ragged a little bit on Norman for not having the interceptions. We thought, but they don't throw that way.
They don't throw his way.
Because they know Josh Norman.
He gets the Richard Sherman treatment.
Yeah.
He gets the Richard Sherman treatment.
Why? I mean, 50-50. Yeah. Why would you get rid of that, but then save the money?
Yeah. That's going to be a huge decision. If that happens, my mind will be blown.
Like I said, a couple weeks ago, I'd have said, cut him, bring in Eric Berry, but put him beside Collins, and you got yourself a beautiful. But after seeing, what Nicholson's done,
right?
Nicholson needs to start.
Yeah, Nicholson. He had some time where he started last year. I thought it was kind of weird at one point. Not weird, but he was starting most of the season. Then they brought in HaHa Clinton-Dix and in the trade, and then Nicholson wasn't starting anymore with HaHa. So I think that Nicholson had something to prove. And he
got that chip on his shoulder.
He got a chip on his shoulder. So it wouldn't be surprised if he's the guy, in my opinion, starting Neil Collins. I think it would be, in my opinion, the way he's had, with the preseason having, it'd be nice to see if he can go out there and recapture that spot, as the second safety on this team.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, last thing here before we roll out of here on Redskins 732, before we get into that last thing, once again, thank you all for tuning in and like us, follow us, subscribe to us,
share,
share, man, please share. I mean, and like I said, we're getting, we want to hear from you guys and anything you think we could do to improve the show. And hey, let us know.
Just to clarify, this is going to become once a week show, and it'll more likely be on your Wednesday, Thursdays, unless there's a Thursday game, then you'll definitely get it on Wednesday.
Yeah, we're gonna try to at least bring you the game, bring you the show before the game, before the game that week, and to give you some type of update on everything that's going on.
And we will be at the Ravens game, so check us out there too.
Yeah, we'll be at the Ravens game, so yes, most definitely do that. Now, talking about the Ravens, let's talk about the Ravens game. Last game in the preseason, and most people eyes, this is just all right, let's get the guys out there. Let's see who's going to make this roster.
Who were you disappointed that we weren't going to get to see to play? No, RG3.
Well, RG3. Now, I know y'all are like, why would you be disappointed? Well, here's my thing. I think that, RG3 being able to play in this game would have been interesting to see how Redskin fans react to RG3 and see how they would, take him as he's coming back into town. And I really wanted to see, and see how I think he's developed really well as a quarterback. He's not the same guy as he was that first year, but his game has changed, and it would have been nice to see how that would have went out, but he will be out for this.
And a lot of Redskins fans that I talk to, they know that he was done wrong.
Right.
Shanahan should have pulled him. What could have been, we'll never know.
Right. You never know. I mean, and then everything just changed. Shanahan, Jay Gruden came in, and then, Jay Gruden wanted his quarterback. Obviously, Kirk Cousins was his guy at the time. It just wasn't going to work out. And then the other injury, it just piled on and piled on. So, yeah, it would have been nice to see him in this game. But with him not being in this game, the only other person on the Ravens side that I was kind of excited to see is Trace McSorley. He won't be the starting quarterback. I don't know if he's going to start this game, but he won't be the overall, he won't be a quarterback. They're going to use him more as a receiver. So on the Ravens front, that's something I'm excited to see.
Is Joe Callahan the starting quarterback?
I believe Joe Callahan is going to start in this game.
Is he going to play every down? Because I'm looking at their depth chart, and besides McSorley, are they really going to play Lamar Jackson?
No. I think it's just going to be Callahan and McSorley, and I think that's all the Ravens want.
Because I remember your sweet man crush on McSorley.
I did, man. And that's okay. I'm gonna let that one fly.
And Penn State quarterbacks. Besides Kerry Collins,
it's been a little rough. So, now, with that being said, the Redskins tomorrow are, it's going to be the Haskins show to get started, and then I'm pretty sure McClendon is going to come in after there. Who do you think, in this game tomorrow has to, really have a phenomenal game to make this roster? Other than, there's somebody that you say, okay, you think they can make the roster, but you're not, they're 50-50 on the line in your mind. Not these top 5 guys are shocking, but is there any guy that you're like, man, I really think that he has a chance of, making this team, not making this team?
Well, for me, it's really a defensive line. They got this amazing defensive line, and I don't know if he's playing, but I know they said last I knew Tim Settle had got hurt.
Right,
he was coming back from an injury last year and was looking great in training camp, preseason. So you got to find that depth behind him, and I'm gonna just totally chop his name up. Austin Molalata. I'm destroying it, and I apologize.
Hey, Austin Molalata.
Bring him in along with Clark. Clark has gotten a lot of snaps on that defensive line, but they're really just they got to shore up that depth, because you cannot have those 3 guys out there every play of the defense. Not saying they're not superb athletes, but that's not fair.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be fair.
You're not going to get the same, fresh Allen and Payne that you would being able to rotate in somebody to play. So, for me, it's definitely the depth there. Linebacker, I am dying to see Cole Holcomb on the field.
You think they're going to put him out there? He had a little bit of an injury.
I'm just dying. I want to see him play, because I think he is going to be the X factor on this defense.
I think you're going to have to wait a little
Everybody,
bit.
is hooked on Montez Sweat, but Cole Holcomb for me is just got that it factor. He's got the instincts. He understands the game to a T.
You know who I'm wondering, and I know he's not going to play tomorrow, but you know who I'm wondering is like getting closer is that of Bryce Love, because I see that they got him on the NFI, and they actually for the first time had him at the top of the injury list as a person that was not going to play, definitely going to be out. I'm that's a guy that I'm excited to see. I wish he was playing tomorrow, but I can't wait to see what he's going to look like, because people forget that the Redskins have this Heisman hopeful sitting in the background, relaxing. Well, not relaxing, but getting himself together. And so it's just like he's back there, and then eventually, we're going to hopefully get to see what Bryce Love can bring to the table. So he's one guy that I'm intrigued to see down the road. I wish that he was playing tomorrow, but like I said, once he gets healthy, I'm very intrigued to see how that goes.
And one guy I would have thrown in there that I didn't think would make this team, and it kills me because he had all the potential when he was in college, was Jeremy Sprinkle.
Right.
But I think he's going to be able to hold on to that roster spot because, Jordan Reed, Gruden said we'll be ready for week 1, which I hope to see him, because when he's on the field, he's one of the top tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But he's got to keep on the field.
Yeah, that's been the biggest.
And concussions are.
Yeah, and I hated to see that. I'm like, man, every time you think, okay, he said it, like the last day of training camp, he was talking about how he felt this is the healthiest he's felt in years. And then as soon as he starts to get going, here comes a concussion. Injury bug, please stay away from Jordan Reed. I just hate to see that happening. But, tomorrow, big time game, at least to end the preseason. I mean, it's football in most people's eyes, but this is that chance for all those guys to see if they can make this team.
Tomorrow is basically like a big job fair. You got to go in.
Big old job fair.
You got to go in. You got to impress. You got to show them that you're there and what you're bringing to the table. There are so many guys because if statistic I don't remember, but 60% of your starters in the NFL now are undrafted free agents signed off of other teams or brought in. They're not drafted guys because, you only draft between 7 and 10 guys depending on how many picks you get per year. All those other spots are filled by guys like this, and that's where you get some of your most amazing players.
That's why I'm interested to see. Big job fair. Who's going to get the job? That's the question that we find out.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think. You watch too.
Yeah, if you think there's somebody who's definitely just not going to make it, or people that you think that may get cut that we're going to be surprised, let us know in the comments.
And, next week's episode, we'll give you a shout out.
Yeah, most definitely. You do that, we'll give you a shout out next week. We really appreciate it, y'all. We'll this is it, episode 3. We're gonna get ready next week, episode 4, as we lead into the season.
We get
finally
real football.
We get all the way, full blown starter to starter NFL red zone.
I just hope the refs get this pass interference, because that's driving me crazy.
Yeah,
man.
I hope they've got to figure that out. Get all the kinks out before the end of this game. But yeah, so tomorrow, LegacyMaker Sports will be at Ravens Redskins. Make sure you check us out on all our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff, the YouTube. So thank y'all. So yeah, the YouTube. Yeah, the YouTube. So make sure you check us out on that. And like I said, we continue to do the best we can out here. We're going to try to pump out content every week. And like I said before, like Jay said before, let us know, man. We're trying to grow. We're trying to get better. We're trying to bring you the best.
Yeah, let us know what we can do, what you want to see.
Agreed.
Besides, Jello wrestling.
Jello wrestling. I don't know if we can do. And that's something. And down the road, hoping to get some player interviews on here on the show, so we can get those things rocking and rolling. Hopefully down the road we'll have that for you as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So all right, I'm Darrell Owens, Jeremiah Quimby, Redskins 732, episode 3. Peace.
LegacyMaker, the All Sports Network.